Nowadays, we almost equate social media to what real life is meant to be.
There are lots of people posting pictures that are edited.
It's the slim waist, big bum, unrealistic photos, unrealistic body standards.
Then you've got all these other people underneath it who are watching them, who are going, how do I get to that body, how do I get to that body?
So our brain is always working, always absorbing, always comparing.
The gym and fitness scene online is seeing the promotion of more and more unrealistic body standards, with fitness influencers earning a living from their muscular physiques and the content they post. This is setting the bar very high for strength-based athletes and can provide a lot of unnecessary pressure. Amore Farag is a powerlifter who has personally been affected by these issues.
Social media is not the best space, in my opinion, for real lifters and real people that go gym. But obviously, as I've experienced it as a girl, it's the slim waist, big bum, big boobs, which is great if you can achieve that. But as someone that has lifted now for 3 years, my body has barely changed, to be honest. It's changed to be slightly more toned, but I'm about the same, you know? And I think to put that pressure on normal people, it's so unfair. I do think for me personally as well, I've struggled with body image because I've never been small. I've always been slightly bigger, and I think that's also what led me to just want to get stronger. I have a chronic illness as well. So I suffer from Crohn's, and having Crohn's and being really ill, powerlifting has almost been a savior. At the end of the day, mentally, I suffer if I don't go to the gym. And I feel like it's harder for me to get better mentally than it is physically. It's helped me so much combating my illness, but also combating the thoughts of having to be smaller, because I realize I'm gonna be miserable trying to get smaller. What's the point? What is actually the point? I'd rather be happy with who I am and know that my body can do these things that so many people can't do. Then I go and lift and whatnot, and people are like, oh, she's actually really strong.
The UK's Mental Health Foundation discovered that 22% of adults and 40% of teenagers found social media causes them to worry about their body image. I visited the CB Training Club in West Sussex to speak to Connor Bull, who is the owner and personal trainer at the facility. Connor regularly posts videos on social media with fitness advice and clips from his training sessions, so I wanted to find out how he thinks these online platforms can affect gym goers.
Social media is a massive positive, but can also be a massive negative for people. One of the negatives comes in body image. There are lots of people posting pictures that are edited. Lots of people are on steroids posting photos. Then you've got all these other people underneath it who are watching them, who are going, how do I get to that body? How do I get to that body? And they're never going to get there naturally. When people come into the gym, if they're training just for how they look, unfortunately, they will never get to a point where they're happy with. What we tend to do is we will focus on performance over physical changes. We have resistance bands, we've got all the cardio equipment that you would need. It's all free weight, so you're actually strengthening the joints, the muscles. It's all about daily performance and good movement, so people actually feel a difference in day-to-day life.
Another strength training community with a healthy outlook is at the University of Westminster Gym, where their free-to-attend lifting club welcomes all students to receive professional powerlifting and weightlifting coaching.
When people come to a club like this, they might have watched their favourite powerlifter or weightlifter on Instagram doing, national records or world records and thinking, oh, that's when they started off. But it's important for them to come here and realise that you being able to make your own progress and tracking the improvements and the changes in your physique and your strength compared to where you were, let's say 6 months ago, or for some of these today versus in a year's time, is going to be more important than trying to compare yourself to other people's bodies. And maybe not spending as much time on social media as well. That would probably be helpful as well.
The advice and physiques that fitness influencers promote online can lead to unhealthy comparisons and even trigger more severe issues such as eating disorders.
There's a lot of people that develop eating disorders because they had body dysmorphia disorder. So what essentially is body dysmorphia disorder is this constant worrying that we have our thoughts and feelings about our physical appearance, and the thoughts that we have a specific flaw and a specific imperfection that in reality doesn't exist. So there's a lot of these people that have this disorder that looks in the mirror and says, oh, I'm very overweight. But when you see them objectively from the outside, they're clearly underweight. But it's just how the brain really works. So this is kind of the beginning and the first pathway that can evolve in an eating disorder.
Some fitness influencers and popular brands have started to promote body positivity and raise awareness of these issues. However, the majority of fitness posts remain the same, and with new TikTok trends and AI-generated images, these unrealistic body standards continue to damage a lot of people.
What a lot of these influencers do is they promote the sort of glamorous side of gym training, that lifestyle, but they don't really show the dark side of it. Now obviously young people, they're all on social media, right? They're going to follow their idols, people who they idolize, who they want to look like, so they're going to take on their information because it's a very easy comparison to say, oh, if I want to look like that, I just have to do what he says. I've definitely had people over the years who have struggled with eating disorders. I can think of one experience where a client of mine would regularly take breaks to go to the bathroom just to make herself vomit. At the time, I didn't know. She just had all this pressure built up inside of her and this ideal body that she wanted to have. And it just seemed like it was so far away for her. So what I try to do is I try to encourage them to seek help through professionals that can help her in that field.
In an industry with so much comparison and pressure to look a certain way, it is important for people to be mindful of the social media fitness content that they consume. Pursuing goals in the gym and in strength-based sports should be a process that is enjoyed and should promote greater health and performance rather than an ideal body image. If you are struggling with any of the issues mentioned, please contact a health professional and do not suffer in silence.